Hi guys, my name is Piotr Iwanicki, and thanks Francesca for actually pronouncing the name right. Like we trained, but it's always like difficult, and it's also difficult to remember Polish names. So my name is Piotr Iwanicki, and I designed and directed the game called Superhot, and indeed it started as a game jam project. I will tell you some things about like our philosophy of working, and I will do some examples of like what we like two interesting things we did in the game. I feel that we did lots of interesting things in the game, and it was like a really rewarding work. But we have short time, so let's get going. At first, I will show you the trailer for the game because that's necessary, so you get like this in your head. Low volume. I'm sorry.
I have a problem with the speaker here. It's okay.
Yes. No, it's okay. It's okay. It works well.
Where's the sound from there?
Okay. Aww. What do you need?
We need the sound card.
Oh, fuck. It worked a second ago, actually.
Yeah, because you need the driver to upstairs.
Yeah.
To change the driver.
Output to headphones?
Yes.
Yes, okay. It should be... Okay, sorry guys. Once again, but with sound. Okay, yeah. Yes, buy on Steam. Yes. So, as you've seen in the trailer and probably know the game, this the core idea of the game is it's a first-person shooter where time moves only when you move. And we started the game as a game jam project for 7-day FPS. It was quite a crazy endeavor because like there was a lot of us, and like the best way to work on game jam is always to try something new, right? Like instead of like doing the things you know, is you to try something new. You try for me, for instance, like doing 7-day FPS was doing a game in a huge team where I'm only directing the team, and like most of people in the team didn't really know how to make games too much, but there was this hype, there was this enthusiasm, and that was a real asset, and it was like an adventure for me of trying something else. Because usually you do game jams in like very small teams, or I do the game. I mostly did game jams alone, and like this switch to making like a 7-day game jam with this lots of random people, just like recruited for the project. It was like a refreshing experience. Yeah, the game looked like this back then. It still looked quite nice, and it became very popular on the internet. Like people people wanted more, and we also wanted to deliver more. So we did a Kickstarter campaign. If you have any questions about this, just feel free. So I will know better. Like what are you interested in? And we just released. Actually, like we released like 1.5 months ago, so it's like already like a bit old. But you know, like games get old very quickly. But for us, it's still fresh in our hearts. it's super hot, right? The name of the game is super hot, and when you think about like doing working on a game, like. And this is like imagine like trying to convince people that this is actually a game title, right? You know, like we start a game with a bunch of friends, and like I want to recruit them to a team. Like I want to recruit people to get to work on the game. So how do you do it? How do you convince people that naming a game Super Hot is actually a proper title? Because it doesn't sound like a proper title. Yeah, like the things I was getting is like, yeah. It's like the idea level. Time moves only when you move. This is nice. This is interesting. But like we're going to change the title, right? Because it sounds a bit silly, and like without actually like having a working version of this like super hot chanting and super hot earworm in your head, and like repeating this like obsessively on after every level and in all our like marketing messages. This seems a bit counterintuitive, right? Like super hot doesn't sound like a game title, which actually like is a great thing, right? Because many game titles like just seem like game titles, and that's why they blend together they blend together and they don't distinguish themselves. It didn't move as I was talking. Okay, so we thought about like what can we do that games don't do usually, right? So our idea was to make this super hot as an earworm, something like that gets in your head, and this is like. It's quite hard to convince people that this is a good idea when you have only an intuition of it, right? How do you do it, right? Like that's an interesting thing, because how do you get people hyped for an idea, hyped for to doing anything? This is like a very important question, because like at first you have to hype your team, yeah. It's about hype, like it's about like this enthusiasm of your work, like giving this energy when you're working. This is important, right? And so you need this energy in the final game, because like in the end, you want to convince people to have fun with your game. Like you want to convince people to have like an interesting experience in front of their computers, right? But it doesn't start in front of the computers. It starts like it starts basically with you, with the developers, and it starts with the team, right? So if you can convince your team to believe that this is like, for instance, a good title for a game, like that chanting super hot is something that will resonate with people. It's really hard, and like when we started, like. In the office when we were working on a game, whenever anyone said super, I replied with hot, and we repeated this super hot until it really clicked with the team. When it really clicked with the team, then I believed that it will also click with the people, click with the audience, because that's your only like guidance. Like if you can make something work in really local space, like you know, between people, just like convincing your friends to do this game, to do this idea, and like do it exactly like that. It's a good indicator that it will later on work with the players, right? And that's like this hyping for ideas, this hacking yourself into believing that it's a good idea. This is something that really helped us. Super hot seems really arbitrary. Like this could be like any two words. Any two words could be chanted, and those words like they have some meaning behind that. But the most important thing is this hype that you can convince people to actually like stuck it in your head, and that was like this tiny thing for us that is really important to our work, because like when we're doing 7-day FPS, people were quite quite astonished with the idea. The idea worked, but the game title like was something you had to convince people. And it's the same with the style of the game, right? The game looks a bit weird. My team felt so in the very beginning, but actually like in the end, this is the asset of the game, right? Because you don't want to do things that look like other things. All right, but it all begins in this like very tiny social space of you and your team, and you like working together and convincing each other of those like tiny ideas that seem a bit stupid at first, but then when you allow this a bit embarrassing stupidness in your work, like this super hot thing. When you allow this embarrassing stupidness, then I feel that the magic happens, and this is a thing that really clicked with us and really helped us in the work. And like this is like I feel that it's somehow a part of the bigger thing, right? Because like once we finish the game for the once we finished the game for the 7-day FPS game game jam, and people really responded to it, we thought about like expanding the game. And like the first thought when we were expanding the game was we need to rewrite the crappy code we wrote for the 7-day FPS because it's relatively easy to do, right? And it is easy to do, but it took us like a very long time, mostly because of other distractions like the doing the Kickstarter, doing the other events also in the same time, but it always comes as a surprise that rewriting like the crappy game jam code you wrote takes such a long time. And why is this, right? Because like I believe that like doing boring stuff is really hard to do. It's strange. It should be like it should be mechanical. It should be something that you're really accustomed to doing. But it's really hard to do. It's really hard to get motivation. And like I know that if you do any project like of any kind, this is mostly true, like writing a master thesis, writing writing something for school, right? This is often hard to do, not because it's like necessarily fun, but maybe it's not interesting. There's nothing to discover there, and there's no real like adventure in creating something. That's important, because like when you create like fast prototypes, for instance, like you aim for like this instant gratification, right? You just write code, you put something on a screen, and like you aim for it to work as fast as possible. And this is like very adventurous. This is developing and having fun. And then if you have to rewrite it, it just becomes this work, and it's not interesting for you, so it's hard to motivate yourself. And it's like, and I believe it's also a problem when you're doing like a bigger project. It's not just a problem when you're doing like your small private projects. It's also a problem when you're working with a bigger team. You're working with a budget, and you need to find ways to get productive in this team. Yeah. So instant gratification when you're writing this crappy code. This is really something. This really gives you a kick to work. What we found as a good like this hack when we were working, and it's like a bit taken from our like game jam experience, because of course like the thing that we started the game from a game jam is like this is our legacy, like we're still like a game jam game, so we are doing like lots of things in Superhot as we would do in a game jam game, as we would do in a white developing like a tiny Flash game for the internet, because I came from developing Flash games, and it's like I always work like that. So even though we had like a budget, we had like most of the time we had like 10 people on the team during the production of Superhot. We still did a lot of things like we would in a game jam game. So this hacky thing was to figure out. Also, always when you face something boring, and boring things are hard to do, always you try to find why this thing is interesting, right? And it's partly like a thing about believing that you can convince yourself that the same thing as before, that Superhot can be a game title, that Superhot, like those arbitrary two words, they can be repeated by people like basically all over the world who have played the game, right? So the same thing, the same mental gymnastics that requires you to convince yourself that convince yourself into believing into this quite random idea of chanting Superhot. The same thing is with many other things in the development. Examples, because like talking without examples is always hard, and like examples give always like the good grounding. I will tell you two things. How much time do we have? 10 minutes now. Okay, so I will talk faster right now. The same material but faster. Okay, every game needs a menu, right? And doing menus is like very boring thing, because like every game has it, and I haven't ever heard like a person saying, "Whoa, it's a cool main menu. How did you animate the start button?" Like nobody appreciates this. So how do you work around it? Because like the game needs some kind of hub space for the settings, for the whole experience, and how to do it by not doing it. This is important. Like instead of like actually solving problems, you have to. It's good to figure out why you don't have to solve it, right? So we figured out. Okay, we'll make this like sleek, elegant, maybe tile-based menu, a bit like in the Windows 8, Windows 10, those tiles, right? Modern, fitting with the style of the rest of the game. But doing this was very ungrateful, and it went really slow. It had like a teammate was working on it. It was like 2 weeks in, and he's like, nah, he's working on it, but it's really there's no real motivation, because that's not interesting, right? So instead of that, we hacked for a weekend, and we created this very simple system to display ASCII characters on the screen. And we discovered that not only it looked like that, based on like a good old Norton Commander, we have a lot of like retro computing in Superhot, so it fits, and also it is way easier to do than doing like the real menus, like actually like solving the problem of doing like the extraordinarily nice menu in the game. This is like way easier, and also like actually people care, like you know, people recognize the style, people like into it, so it's something, right? So people respond to it, and it's easier to do. So like why can't you do all things like that in this matter? And it's like the Superhot menu. It began as a very simple hack to make a working menu in the game. But if you believe in your hacks, and you believe in and you trust those ideas that sometimes are very random, then you can take it further. Like yes. What are the consequences? Like when we had this menu system running, we discovered that like there's it's very easy to stage all the unique moments in the game using this ASCII menu, because that's, for once, this is like the standing out thing in the game. This ASCII menu system. This is a standing out thing, and also it's text, right? So it's very easy to do text graphics is easy to do. Text animations, it's just writing this whole system is like it's very fun to do, right? And with all the possibilities that text gives you, you can do many of the story moments. Instead of doing them in the like 3D game, you can do them in the menu, right? So that was like a quite nice solution for us. Again, instead of doing something, you solve this problem by doing something else that's easier, and at the same time it does not compete with other games, right? So from this. When the menu was this very like intense thing inside our game, and was like this we started doing story moments in the game. It quickly became apparent that we shouldn't have like a play game button. We shouldn't have something like that. It should be like Superhot.SUPER.HOT, and that's a bit how like we started incorporating, because we started from gameplay, right? We started from the FPS gameplay, and then we explored around to see what shape this game can take, right? And in the end, we didn't have like a play game button in the menu. We have this Superhot.SUPER.HOT, and like Superhot.SUPER.HOT is this like game within the game that you get from a friend, and this is this evil, strange piece of software you found on the deep web. Another good thing, because like it's like in infomercial, is wait, there is more. Using, when you have like an open formula like this ASCII system for the menus, you can, for instance, you can do like side projects inside the game. This is do I have a video? Yes, I have a video. You can do side projects inside the game. So this is basically like a file system. So you can put things there, right? And like whenever you are bored in the while working on the game, whenever you are tired, because you are tired when you are working like those endless months of development, it's good to do side projects. And it's always good when the side project can become a part of the main game. So become this another thing that people can love about your game. So this is like one of the games we have this in this menu system of ours. This is like an ASCII clone of the brilliant game Timberman. You should check it out on mobile. It's made by our friends from Digital Melody from Poland. Okay, I hear that we have yeah, and this is like a carpet generator, right? So yeah. Yeah, so things like that, like very easy to do, just like possibly each one was like an hour, 30 minutes of coding, but you can like engage other people in it, and you can do something really unique that stands out, and it's cheaper. This for instance, like this previous thing with the rotating smiley faces, this was like a piece of demo scene thing my brother wrote, because like he's an old demo scene guy, and I told him about this Superhot menu, so I gave him like the access to our repository, and he has written this thing, right? So like imagine like you wouldn't be able to do it in a normal menu system, like if you were doing tiles. So like doing this oh, I forgot about that. That's 3D. Yeah, so doing this ASCII stuff was like gave lots of freedom from us because of like it's way simpler to do, and it's you don't do things that are simpler to do just not to do things. You do them to do other things. So that just like really open up the possibility space for us. Oh god damn it, there is more. So like we writing. So we have this. We wanted to write in the game a bit more of text. So like inside this menu system, we have this chat. that's like you can only listen to. It's like this hackers on the internet talking, but they are mostly like script kiddies, and like this very silly. And like Superhot is quite a serious game, but like with this kind of menu system, with this thing, you can it's a socket design. You can insert like very different things inside there. So yes, in the end it was like a 30 minutes of text scrolling on the screen, and you can just read the interactions between those characters in the game. Tiny stuff, but again, it was a great side project inside the game, and it was also a fun way to explore the design and world of Superhot. Okay, so. We don't have time. We don't have time really, but this menu system, this ASCII menu system, was this big stuff that really set our work free in many aspects. And this second thing was the idea of mind control. And like this mind control theme is like interwoven through Superhot from the very beginning. But actually like treating it very seriously gave us those possibilities that are normally not there. So like because mind control is a lot like marketing. so like if we have this mind control as a theme of a game, and like we have this evil Superhot exe that controls people, so maybe this evil Superhot exe developers inside the game, maybe they should they should take care of marketing, because like they probably would be way better at it than us. We are weak. We are weak in this, you know. We care about things like feelings and like doing a work that's like, you know, doing fun games for people. But Superhot exe developers, those are ruthless people, and they won't mind if you yes, they don't mind if they will just give you the phrase to repeat to other people, right? We told through the game that you should repeat this phrase to other people, and it was like just another try of this super hot thing. People really responded to it, so we thought that we could also plant another phrase in the minds, and this phrase that we tried to plant was this: you have to check out this game. It's the most innovative shooter I've played in years. And it's like it's something we actually like also heard, so it wasn't so audacious, but it was also, you know, it was part of the marketing, and like doing marketing can feel like a big boring thing that you don't want to do. You know, like I said in the very beginning, like doing boring things is hard. But like with all the aspects of your games, of your work, you can always find those tiny reasons why this is not boring. So like we did a menu system. We're going to the summary. So like those boring and scary things, because like boring and scary is sometimes like interchangeable, right? You think this is you think the thing you are doing is boring to you. I don't want to do it, but you know, those tile-based, like slick menus we wanted to do in the game, I said that they were boring, right? And they are a bit boring. We didn't have like a clear idea for them. But also like this not having a clear idea, this is a bit scary. You don't know how to do it, like you feel a bit out of place, right? But like whenever you encounter these situations, like I believe that like that's what we try to do, is to get hyped and try to turn those things around, like turn them into your like asset, turn it into like a thing that can be actually appreciated, and it's a way to make things unique. So I feel that we made it with this menu system. It started out as a as a solution, and quickly became something that's really unique to the game and like a huge important part of it. And the same we did with this mind control team and our marketing, which also like started as a thing that like no. Every game needs some marketing, right? Instead of like doing this like everybody is doing it, and everybody is doing just throwing money at it. It's awful, and it's also I don't believe it's very effective. Yeah, instead of doing like a normal boring marketing or normal scary marketing because we don't know anything about it, we incorporate it inside the game and turn it into our like unique asset. And I hope you can also try those similar things in your project. I never know how things I'm telling on those talks how they are applicable to your own things, but I hope I helped you somehow. So if you want to get in touch, just those are my data, and thank you very much.